make one of my favorite salads. Now I'm going to say favorite salad because I am not typically a person that eats salad as a whole entire meal. I do love salad as a side dish, but this is one of my salads that I love as a meal, and it's a BLT salad. So first you need the typical BLT ingredients: bacon, lettuce, and tomato. I already have my bacon cooking in the oven at 400 degrees for probably about 12 minutes. I like cooking in the oven, less mess, less stress. I like to use iceberg lettuce. So I'm gonna chop up all my ingredients, put them in a bowl, and that's it. But first I'm gonna start with the dressing. I like to make a ranch dressing, very ranch inspired, I guess. I don't know if it's a typical ranch dressing. So I use fresh parsley. I always use fresh parsley just because it tastes better. Dried parsley has zero flavor in my opinion. If you open up the jar, it doesn't smell like anything. So I'm always gonna opt for fresh parsley. So we need fresh parsley for the dressing. I use dried dill and garlic powder. I guess you could use fresh garlic, but for this salad dressing, I like the dried powder. I like the flavor of it. So I'm gonna chop up, I'm gonna show you. Chop it up pretty good. And there's okay if there's some big chunks. It's just gonna brighten up the salad and give it more flavor. Once you chop it up, it's about a palm size. And I'm only making a personal salad. If you wanna double, triple, quadruple it, that's fine. So just a little bit right there. And then, so lots of salt. I put a good amount of salt. I'd say, because this is the seasoning for your salad. So probably maybe like a teaspoon, half a teaspoon. I'd start less and then add more if you need it. So salt to taste. Garlic powder, I use a good amount of garlic powder. This is a very flavorful dressing in my opinion. Probably, that's about a teaspoon, I guess. About a teaspoon of garlic powder. Here's our dressing. And then lots and lots and lots of fresh cracked pepper. I'm always gonna go for cracked pepper. You can use what you have. This is my kitchen. Do what you want in your kitchen. And then today I'm gonna opt for plain Greek yogurt. A lot of times I'll use mayo for ranch, but I'm gonna go a little bit healthier today. So I'm gonna start with maybe the rest of this, which is probably a little over a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half. And then I'm gonna also opt for heavy cream instead of milk today. Normally I would do milk and mayo, but the heavy cream will actually make it creamier. So just a splash, just a splash. I don't know if you guys remember, I don't know, is Applebee's still even open? Are they still in business? Anyway, my favorite ranch dressing has always been the Applebee's ranch at their salad bar. It's like this runny ranch with tons of herby flavors. And it's really the only place that I have found that has it. So I like to make mine a little bit more watery. So you can kind of make it the consistency you want. If you want it thicker, add less milk. If you want it runnier, add more milk. It's really to taste. Oh, I didn't add the dill, did I? So a good amount of dill, probably maybe about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. I like it pretty dilly, so I'm gonna always put more. If you don't like dill, just leave it out. Although I've never not done it with dill, so I can't tell you how that's gonna taste. So you kind of just go by the texture you want. Okay, I have my dressing. Now while I get all the ingredients, that's my dog, don't mind my dog, okay? This is a family house, I'm gonna put my dressing in the fridge because it takes me a little while to get everything together. When I make a vinaigrette, I just let the flavors marry on the counter, but in this case, since it's dairy, I'm gonna leave it in the fridge. So here's my iceberg. Obviously, I've had some salads. I'm gonna chop off, since this is a personal salad just for me and my lunch, I'm gonna chop off a little nodule. That's what I'm gonna call it. Maybe about that much. I'm gonna clean it. I'll be right back. Okay. gonna chop up all my ingredients and just put them in a bowl. We have lettuce, tomato. I use these little cherry tomatoes. You can use what you want. Now, my timer just went off, or my preheat just went off on my oven, so I'm gonna flip my bacon. Bacon grease on my shorts. Anyway, okay. I don't like a very salad heavy salad. I like the other ingredients to play the part. So the cheese I'm gonna use today is mozzarella. I don't know if I mentioned that. Okay, so I'm gonna chop my tomatoes. I only use, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 of them for my own personal salad. I like to cut them into what it is, people. And then I like to use red onion. You can use any onion. I've used any onion. I just like the color combination. I like more colorful food if I'm making a salad. So I'm gonna go with the prettier one and then put that on just a little bit. I like to make them super thin. You can make them chunky, you can make them super thin, you can do dice. I like slices. Maybe I should put it down. Half of an avocado. I used the other half last night because I had this same salad last night. Sometimes I like to eat meals 2 days in a row. So it's a little brown, whatever. It's still good. I'll just cut that off, whatever. It's totally fine. It's only a day, not even a day, that I cut it open. So I just like to dice it inside of it. Put it into my bowl. So we have the avocado. Onion. I was gonna use a cucumber. Usually I will dice up a cucumber, but I'm feeling lazy today and I'm just hungry and I want to eat. So I'm just gonna do BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato, avocado, and red onion, and a little bit of mozzarella cheese. A little or a lot. Okay, my bacon's out of the oven. It's all drained from the grease. I'm just gonna chop it. If you make yours super, super crispy, you could just use your hands and crumble it straight into the salad. Mine's been sitting for a minute, so it's a little soft. And then put it all over the salad. I did 5 pieces of bacon. You could do whatever you want. Sometimes I do 4, sometimes I do 3. Today I'm doing 5 because my salad's so small. It seems small, it's a pretty big bowl. And then I'm gonna drizzle this yummy homemade ranch on top. A little bit. I don't like a lot. This is actually thicker than I would typically make it. So just put a little bit. And that's the finished salad. I'm just gonna mix it all up. You could put as little or as much salad dressing as you want. I don't love a super dressed salad. I don't love a ton of salad dressing. Normally I would salt and pepper a salad, but there's so much salt and pepper in the dressing and there's so much salt on the bacon that I wouldn't do that for this one. But I'm gonna do a bite with a little bit of everything. Get my onion.